Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Colorado Rockies rebuild franchise here on MLB The Show 24. So today we're going to start out in September call-up. So we got to call two guys up, and between episodes, it took a while for me to kind of, figure out who we wanted to call up. We wanted to bring up two pitchers, but if we were to do that, we would exceed the maximum of 13. So we can only call up one pitcher, unfortunately. And going back to the top, and I was torn between maybe Ken Hughes, who we acquired earlier in the season from the Baltimore Orioles, straight up for Brenton Doyle. Ken Hughes was the top closer in last year's draft class. He was with Baltimore in single A when we acquired him, put him up to double A, and now he's already moved up to triple A. And look at these numbers, 9 out of 9 on saves, and 11 1/3, only 2 earned run, only 1 home run given up, and a 15-2 strikeout to walk ratio, an ERA at 1.59, and a whip at .88. So it's been well documented how poor our closing situation has been. We started off with, Lawrence? Where's he at? Justin Lawrence. So he was 17 out of 18 last year. Very, very good. But look at the numbers this year. 19 out of 26. And we ended up just taking him out of that spot. A very bad strikeout to walk ratio. An ERA over 7. And the whip, not much higher than it was last year. But the ERA, 4.5 points higher. So Lawrence, I don't know what we're going to do with him. We still have him for arbitration for 3 more seasons. But maybe we look to move him in the offseason as we try to bolster our pitching staff, but especially our bullpen, certainly the weakness of this team. So we ended up putting Taj Bradley into the closer spot. We acquired him last year in that Charlie Blackmon trade, and he's been up and down. I think he's converted maybe his last 3 or 4 save attempts, but, he makes it interesting always. There's always base runners on when he's recording a save, but prior to making him the closer, he was in a long relief spot where he just 8 innings out of the bullpen, and he was very, very good in that spot. So I think we do want to put Taj Bradley back in a long relief spot, which means our closing spot will be open, and I'm one to be a little patient with players. I'm not going to rush them up to the big leagues, but I think Ken Hughes out of the gate can be a pretty good pitcher. 97 mile per hour fastball. The control needs to get a bit better, as does the clutch, but the Ks per 9, home runs per 9 very high, hits per 9 very good as well. The walks per 9 not as good, but that's going to usually come with poor control. So Ken Hughes has worked his way from single A with Baltimore all the way up to the big leagues in one season with Colorado, and we're going to throw him right into the closer spot, and it's going to be interesting to see how that goes down the rest of the year. So I wish we could call up another pitcher, but we do have to call up a position player. Benny Montgomery, I just don't think he's quite ready, only batting .229 here. Primarily a leadoff man. He was very good last year in Double A, but just didn't really cut it here in Triple A. Kyle Daytris, we had on the roster for a little bit last year, batted only .211 in 76 at-bats, a utility man, a good fielder with good speed, but I think we're going to go somewhere else. I really would like to have called up maybe Feltner or Matt Cook, but like I said, we can't call up a pitcher. So Michael Yamashita, he was our number 3 overall pick last year. Recently called him up to AAA as he was dominant in AA. 1-4. The numbers aren't too bad though. 4.25 ERA, 1.14 WHIP, and 4 quality starts out of 6. You'll take that. Adael Amador, I don't think he's quite ready either. He's seen nice progression with the bat, especially contact versus lefties, up +7, but still only batting .230. His home runs did double from last year, where he was primarily in AAA, warming Bernabel, Heriberto Hernandez, maybe Michael Toglia. He spent time 2024, 141 at-bats, 2023, 141 at-bats. He saw a little improvement last year compared to 2023, but still not quite ready to be, even a platoon player at just 66 overall, although he does offer a good glove, good speed for a first baseman, and he likes to switch hitting capabilities. So I think we'll just bring up Keyber Rodriguez. Nothing groundbreaking here. Maybe we would like to get one of the young guys up like Amador, or maybe if Zach Veen wasn't hurt, a torn MCL. He's been out pretty much all season, only 75 at-bats before he got hurt. And he was batting very well in AAA, .267 with an .814 OPS, and he liked that lefty bat in right field. So I think we'll invite him to spring training next season and see how he fares after recovering from the injury. But Keyber Rodriguez was a guy who saw some at-bats, 32 earlier in the year, batted .281. He was 9 for 32, all 9 of those hits singles. So he just had some experience, decent at the plate in AAA, but you like him for his versatility in the field, along with a decent glove. So Keyber Rodriguez is back. He's back up to the big leagues. And now AA, we wanted to call up another reliever And I think it's going to be Jordan Quinones. We acquired him last episode or the episode before when we traded Cal Quantrill. We acquired him in the Cal Quantrill trade along with Joshua Baez, an outfield prospect. And we put him up to AAA, and he's 9 out of 10 in save attempts with an ERA and WHIP, both sub 1. So he came up to AAA, pitched very well, and we could use another lefty in the AAA bullpen. It was either him or Ricky Raymond, who we acquired last year from the Angels in the German Marquez trade. But Quinones is going to get the call up and a little more impressive, albeit in a lesser sample size. But that's going to do it here for call-ups. And don't forget, folks, our Colorado Rockies have been playing very good baseball down the stretch here, post-All-Star break. Only 3 games under 500, and our goal this year is to get 81 wins. And if we were to do that, we might be in line for a playoff spot because right now we're only half game out here from the Diamondbacks, the Phillies, the Reds. We're all separated within 3 games. Then you add in the Padres just 1 game back, the Marlins 2 games back. This NL wildcard race is absolutely absurd right now, and the way we've been able to work our way up is just phenomenal. So we'll take a look at the remaining schedule. We finish a 4-game set here against San Fran. We've already won the last 2. Then a 2-game set against Houston, who is second right now in the AL West, but one of the better teams in the MLB. We have the White Sox, the Nationals, 2 bottom-tier teams. But other than that, it's pretty tough. The Cardinals at 84 and 53, they've really fallen off. At one point, they were the top team in the MLB, but not good so far in the second half, but still in line for a playoff spot. And I think they are going to win the NL Central. Atlanta currently leading the NL East. And then we have 2 3-game sets against the Diamondbacks, who are a half game out right now. So it's going to be interesting to see. It might come down to the final series against the Diamondbacks to see who gets into the playoffs, plus a series here against LA, who of course is the top team in the MLB. So I don't really have any clear structure for this episode. We're going to sim ahead, maybe jump into a couple key moments, but I wanted to get one more full game in this year, and I think we'll hold off until next episode and kind of close the season with a full game and see if we can get into the playoffs. But with that being said, we'll get right into the simming, and of course every game here, very important. Kyle Freeland on the mound against Robbie Ray, as the Giants have really fallen off here. 9 games under 500, and they were one of the better teams to start the year, at one point leading the NL West. And we fall there 7-3. You do not like to see that. Keyber Rodriguez got a start there, batted second. He had 2 hits, now batting over 300 in limited sample size. Nolan Jones a home run. Sterling Thompson got a double. You like to see that recently called up. 4 earned from Freeland. You don't like to see that. And Taj Bradley 2 earned, didn't even record an out. And he was really our falling point in this game. Now Jack Flaherty against Jordan Hicks here as we start a 2-game set at Houston. And we fall 8-1, and it's not a good start. Sterling Thompson, another 2 hits, 1 for a double. Jack Flaherty, not a good start from him. He's really fallen off kind of here in the second half. And 3 1/3 for Yarborough, 1 earned run. So try to avoid a 3-game losing streak here to start September. Forrest Whitley on the mound. We are up 7-5 in the top of the 8th. Rogers already has 2 home runs. And I think we'll just jump into it. It's going to be a 2-inning game, so it might be a little longer than most of these key moments, but we'll jump into it and see if we get a Ken Hughes save attempt, which would be his first action in his career. So here we go. Brendan Rodgers, 2 for 7 in the series, 2 home runs, each of which came in this game. We have a runner on first with no outs here in the top of the 8th. Rockies up 7-5. First pitch there, slider low in the zone. Penn Murphy and Rafael Montero warming up. And I see at the bottom there, Rockies lead the MLB with 11 top 100 prospects. And we missed there on the curveball. Way too early on that. Now the 1-1 from Whitley. That one way off the plate. And it's now 2-1. Really got to get back in the win column if we want to keep our playoff hopes alive. And Rogers, we're early on that. That was a good location to mash. But early on the changeup, now 2-2. And I don't know what we're looking at as the fastball cruises in there for the strike 3. Rogers gets the backwards K. And now 1 away in the 8th inning. And it's now 10-5. Oh, so it made it a player lock situation. I did not even realize that was going to be the case. As first pitch swing in there, we ground out. So it's the top of the 9th. And we're up 9-5, and it's not even a save attempt anymore. But with that, the Rockies do get the win, we jump into this. I thought it was going to be a full game. I didn't realize, like I said, to be a player lock game with Rogers as we finished 0 for 2 with him. Taj Bradley got the win, 2/3 of an inning, and John Curtis his 7th save as he probably came in there in the 8th. We got 3 in the top of the 9th, and that was enough for the victory. Amed Rosario 3 for 5 as he continues to hit the ball very, very well. A big surprise this season. So we get back in the win column, and we're now 1.5 games out. So we really got to tighten up the screws. A 3-game series here against Chicago, and this is hopefully one we can at least win the series, or even better, a sweep. We have Max Fried, our all-star, 15-4 against Garrett Crochet, an ERA of 6 even for the 50-90 Chicago White Sox. So we have another key moment here. Amed Rosario up to the dish. 1 away, 2 men on. So the tying run on base, the winning run at the plate. Joe Barlow on 2 walks. He's recorded 1 out. Let's jump into this one. Amed Rosario has been a tremendous hitter for us. Maybe one of our better players in the second half of this season. Kind of working his way. I think he's been leading off most games here down the stretch. And we'll see if he can deliver in a clutch spot. 1 for 4 with a double. 9 home runs on the year and OPS over 800. Joe Barlow already 15 pitches. Jason DeLay on second. Not the best speed. And we look at that one a little off the plate for ball 1. Definitely need to take advantage of this Chicago White Sox team. One of the worst in the league. Rosario swinging at that one a little late on the fastball. Now knotted up 1-1. Barlow delivers, and Amed Rosario all over the slider, but launches it foul. Still used to the fastball on that one. Now the 1-2. That one in the dirt, bounces, but a good job by the catcher there to keep it in front. Might be Max Stassi, I think, back there. It's actually Edgar Cuero. Correction there. Now the 2-2 to Rosario. That one a ground ball to short. They get 1 at second. And they get 2 at first. Rosario grounds into the double play to end it. A twin killer. And that kind of kills our momentum right now. A good win last time out against Houston. But here we could just not get the job done. Max Fried, I think, took the loss as he did. Now I think 14-6. Garrett Crochet, 9 strikeouts in 6 innings. The 28th save for Joe Barlow. See how our lineup did. Rosario just 1 for 5. Grounded into that double play to end it. Nolan Jones 2 for 4. Santander 3 for 4. 2 hits for McMahon. Only 1 extra base hit in this game. Taj Bradley, 2 2/3, 1 earned, but 4 strikeouts. You like to see that. Hopefully we can bounce back in these next 2 and steal this series. I think we have Peter Lambert on for the next game on the mound. He's been very strong here. Recently called him up, I think, after we traded away. I forget who we traded away. And then we ended up putting Lambert in the rotation. Oh yeah, Cal Quantrill. We traded him to the Cardinals. And I think we're actually going to face him here shortly. So we'll probably do a player lock game there. But Lambert, 6 starts, 4-0. An ERA under 3, a whip just barely over 1. And he's been very strong. We'll see if he can keep that up. Open the season in AAA. Although last year he was our long relief man most of the time. Now another key moment here. 0-0 game. Santander has an 18-game hitting streak trying to keep it alive here against Mike Soroka. And we lose again, 6-1. Rosario, 1 for 4 at the top. Rogers and Jones and McMahon and Fernandez, each with 2 hits. Santander did extend the hitting streak with a double. Jason DeLay homered. Lambert, no earned runs, 12 strikeouts in 7 innings. And the bullpen just imploded on us. Ryan Yarbrough and Carlos Estevez, each 2 earned, which kind of led to our demise in this one. And then Lucas Sims, 2/3 of scoreless pitching. So we start September 1-4, and that will not get it done if we want to make the playoffs. We're now 2.5 games back. The Marlins have jumped ahead of us. And now game 3 here against the White Sox. And if we don't get it going, we're certainly going to have to, and we actually don't face Quantrill in this Cardinals series, unfortunately. But we'll look ahead to this White Sox game first, and we get swept by the White Sox. That is not going to do it. They came in with just 50 wins and then win 3 in a row against us. Only 4 hits for the Rockies. Only 1 extra base hit. Freeland is very strong. 1 earned. 7 innings, 9 strikeouts. But Taj Bradley, 2 earned. And our starters have been very good in this episode, but our bullpen and our run support has not been there. So Alonso's going cold. Tovar and DeLay are going cold. Should we throw in Ronald Cabrera? I mean, we're so thin at catcher with Danny Jansen going down. That's obviously a big hit to our lineup. Montero and Adael, maybe we get one of these guys worked in a little bit. I think we maybe could put Rosario back down a little bit. We'll go back to kind of how, with what was working for us earlier in the year. I think we had Rogers, McMahon, Jones, Alonso, and then Santander in the 5-hole. And I think we'll throw Tovar up a little bit. He kind of hits better when he's up. Slugging just barely over 400, but a new career high with home runs. You like to see that. And he's developing very nicely. An elite glove at short. +9 there, power versus righties. And he's already very good. Well, not very good, but he's already a good hitter against lefties. And he's only 23 years old, so a lot of room to grow. And we have him on a $12 million contract for the next 5 years after this season. I think we'll put Rosario down, sandwich Tovar in between, or sandwich Fernandez, the lefty, in between the two righties. And we'll just throw Ronald Cabrera out there, see if he can provide a little more energy for us. Maybe we get Montero into the lineup instead of Fernandez. I don't know, I feel like Fernandez has been hitting the ball well in recent episodes. The lefty lineup, I think we'll just keep the same for now. And hopefully that brings us better fortunes here. So Jack Flaherty on against Zach Thompson for the 88-55 St. Louis Cardinals. And they're not too far away from clinching the NL Central. 13 games ahead of the Reds, who hold the top wildcard spot. So the Cardinals are certainly going to win the NL Central. And now we have a key moment here. Top of the 10th, 2 away. 2 men on for the Cardinals. Ryan Yarbrough has already pitched 4 2/3 in relief with 5 strikeouts. Arenado on against his former team. And we'll just send to the end. Ryan McMahon suffers an injury, a strained hamstring day to day. But we do get the win in that game. We do get it in the bottom of the 10th, that same inning. Santander 3 for 5, and I think his hitting streak now to 20 games. He had a double and a triple in this one. Brendan Rodgers a home run. Flaherty 3 earned in 5, but Ryan Yarbrough 5 scoreless innings to get the win. 5 strikeouts as well. So McMahon is hurt. And we'll just keep Thompson there at the 2-hole for now. It's only going to be like a game or two. And we get another win, so we lose to the worst competition in the White Sox, and now we've won 2 straight against the Cardinals, although they have been a little worse in the second half of the year. And Santander, 2 home runs, 3 for 4 with 6 ribbies. He is absolutely dominating here down the stretch. Sterling Thompson, 2 for 4, another double. He's been hitting very well. Ronald Cabrera went 2 for 4. The rookie catcher, our 6th-round pick from last year. Chase Dollander, 5 innings, 3 earned. He's been up and down his second year, but I think he started out in AAA. We called him up pretty early in the year, though. And Taj Bradley gets to win 4 scoreless. And we still haven't seen Ken Hughes. That is kind of an anomaly. We haven't had a closing situation yet. Keyber Rodriguez now hurt. Not that that's a big loss, but we do fall here 10-5. Although we do get the series win. Rodgers 2 for 5. 3 RBIs. Nolan Jones had a home run. Thompson a triple. And Sterling Thompson 4 for 4. Batting .375 there in the 9-hole. What a story he's been. And Fried has not given us good starts here to start this episode. 5 earned in just 4 1/3. 11 hits allowed. Taj Bradley 3 earned, not an out recorded. Ryan Yarbrough again gets the job done. 2 2/3 of scoreless pitching. Gilbreth 2 innings, and he gave up a run. So we're now 70-76. 1.5 games out of a wild card spot. So we're still in it. And these upcoming games against the Diamondbacks are going to be huge. So we have another series here against a bottom team in the Washington Nationals, 57-90. And they're just barely better than the Mets there as the worst team in the NL this season. Although the Athletics at 51-96 are the bottom team. So we'll just keep it rolling here. Game 1 against the Nationals. We're down 3-2 here in the top of the 7th with 2 outs. Santander trying to keep that hitting streak alive with Nolan Jones on third. And we come back to win. That's awesome. Playing very good baseball now. Winners in 3 of our last 4. Santander extended the hitting streak with a home run. Thompson got another hit. Montero in the lineup, 1 for 3. Jones had 2 hits. Rogers 3 for 3 with 2 walks. You love that. Reaching base in all 5 plate appearances. Rosario 2 for 5 with a double. Lambert got the win, now 5-0. 3 earned and 6 with 8 strikeouts. And our bullpen, finally a good performance. 3 scoreless. And Ken Hughes gets his first career save. An inning pitched, 2 strikeouts to 1 walk. And that's awesome for our closer of the future, maybe even by next season. Now game 2 here, Kyle Freeland on against Chase McDermott. And we have a key moment here. So we're down by 1, 2 runners on for Santander. And we'll just go ahead and simulate. And we do fall. We couldn't capitalize in that situation. And that's kind of a tough break. Rogers hitless at the top. Thompson 2 for 4. A double from Alonso, a home run from Jones. And I feel like Pete Alonso hasn't homered in forever. Freeland wasn't bad. 6 innings, 3 earned. And Taj Bradley, 2 scoreless innings. So game 3 now. Hopefully we can take these last 2. And then we'll probably get into a player lock game here shortly. At least definitely some action there against the Diamondbacks. Jack Flaherty on against Cade Cavalli. Cavalli, a good outing. We're down 9-4. Thompson trying to keep a 12-game hitting streak alive. Since then, we lose 9-7, so we rallied a little bit. 5 between the 6th and 8th innings. 2 hits for Rosario, McMahon, Santander. His hitting streak's still alive, but Sterling Thompson's unfortunately came to an end. McMahon had a home run, Santander as well. 7 earned for Flaherty, and he's been abysmal down the stretch when we've needed him the most. Had a good start to the year. 4 innings for Yarbrough and a long relief role. 2 earned, 6 strikeouts, a scoreless inning from Gilbreth. And now we're just trying to tie the series here against the Nationals. Chase Dollander on against Thad Ward. And we dropped that one 8-2. We don't deserve, to make the playoffs at this point with the way September has gone. Santander still crushing the ball, though. 2 for 3. 2 hits for Rosario and Cabrera. Chase Dollander, 5 earned. He's really not cutting it. We were hoping for better, results from who entered this series as our top pitching prospect. And another scoreless outing from Yarbrough. So again, we opted to make some changes to the lineup. We're going to throw Santander in the 3-hole, put Jones at cleanup with that 99 clutch, and we'll move Pete Alonso down to the 5-hole. He's been super cold here in the month of September. No home runs so far. He hasn't really been hitting well nor reaching base. We'll put Thompson here in the 6-hole, fresh off a dozen-game hitting streak. He's been very strong since getting the call to the show. Tovar will move down 1 spot. We'll move Fernandez down and keep Cabrera there in the 9 spot, batting .333 so far through 24 at-bats. And now we have Fried on against his former team here in the Atlanta Braves, a road set against the leaders in the NL East. Sim through this one, Max Fried. Santander up to 27-game hitting streak. And I would like to enter this situation, but I don't even want to mess with it. I'll let him keep doing his thing. And we do win 2-0, a huge game there to kind of keep our hopes alive. And Santander extends the hitting streak. You'd love to see that 3 hits for Nolan Jones. Tovar had a 2-run home run in the top of the 9th to win it. And Fried, a complete game shutout against his former team. Only 6 base runners, and he really needed that one to, get back on the right track. So what are we looking at? 2.5 out now, and the Diamondbacks are not even in a playoff spot. The Marlins have really been playing well, 7-3 in their last 10. And they're kind of emerging as one of the playoff teams here. And now Peter Lambert, hopefully he can stay undefeated, 5-0 against Huascar Enoya. Chris Sale on in a relief role. And we have Santander now trying to get it to 29 games. And again, we're not even going to mess with it. And we do win 5-3. Another good win. Thompson had a home run. But the Santander hitting streak does come to an end. Tremendous performance from him. 28 games. That is wild. Alonso had a 20-game hitting streak earlier. He had a hit in this one, a double. Fernandez, 2 for 3 with a double. Lambert now 6-0, and he might solidify a rotation spot for next season. 1 earned, 6 strikeouts. Gilbreth, a bad outing, 2 earned. But Ken Hughes came on for the 4-out save. 2 strikeouts there, did not allow a base runner. And now we go for the sweep here against the Braves. Kyle Freeland on against Spencer Strider, who's 16-3, 253 strikeouts, and he's got to be the leader for the Cy Young right now. Ohtani leading for MVP, and Strider is leading for the Cy Young. What a season from him. Garrett Cole leading in the AL. Yordan Alvarez looks like the favorite for the MVP. Acuna, and then Strider even is, bidding for an MVP award, so probably has, 3 more starts in this regular season to maybe work his way up into the MVP race. So Freeland on for this one against Strider, and we lose to the Cy Young favorite, as you would expect. Santander gets back in the hit column, a new hitting streak for him at 1 game now. He had 2, Ronald Cabrera, a double. Freeland 6 earned. Taj Bradley was good, 3 2/3, 5 strikeouts. And now we're down to our last 9 games of the season, 6 of which against the Diamondbacks. And we're only a game and a half out. I mean, this is still doable. I can't believe the situation we're in right now. So we'll take a look at the Diamondbacks' remaining schedule. Of course, they have the 2 sets against us, and they also have a home series against the Pirates. So kind of easy for them, although the Pirates have been playing better in the second half. Then we have the Cubs, who I think are a couple games ahead of us, the defending World Series champions. They were finished off a set here against the Brewers, who are one of the bottom teams there in the NL Central, a 2-game set against the White Sox, and then a 3-game set against the Cardinals. The Cardinals 5 games short of 100 wins, so a little tougher for the Cubs than it is for the Diamondbacks. And then the Marlins, who have played tremendous baseball here in September, finished the series here against the Mets, who I believe are the bottom team in the National League this season. And then the Nationals, a 2-game series, and then a road series against Cincinnati, who have kind of been on the come up. So, like I said, we'll get some action here against Arizona. A very pivotal series, of course, but first, I think we'll just quick manage this game. We have Jack Flaherty on against Eduardo Rodriguez, 2 pitchers who have been very bad here down the stretch. Hopefully we can get it going a little bit against the lefty. And they want us to get Pavin Smith some at-bats, but we're not putting the lefty in there against a lefty. As we'll start here against Jake McCarthy, an error, and we allow the 99 speed to reach on an error. Strikeout, a stolen base, and then caught stealing third. A double from Carroll, which would have scored McCarthy, of course, and then a strikeout there against Jock Peterson. Now Ahmed Rosario on, Rogers. 3 flyouts, we go down 1-2-3. A 1-2-3 inning there from Flaherty with 2 Ks. And we go down 1-2-3 yet again. A 2-out single from McCarthy, a single from Marte, a walk to Carroll. So now the base is loaded, and Peterson strikes out again. We get out of a jam, and we don't get a hit the whole first time through the lineup, as we're now here in the top of the 4th. A strikeout, ground out, so a 1-2-3 from Flaherty, and we get our first hit there. Rosario, a leadoff single. We'll go a little hit and run, and Rogers a double, but Rosario is thrown out at the plate. Although Nolan Jones drives home Rogers for the game's first run, and now top of the 5th. A 2-out single again from McCarthy. He's reached in all 3 at-bats. A 2-out single from Delay, and then Joe Adele flies out. Now the top of the 6th, Corbin Carroll to lead it off, strikes out. Jock Peterson a walk, a fly out to Christian Walker, and Alec Thomas lines out. Now the bottom of the 6th, another single there from Rosario, and I was going to go back to the hit and run, but we'll just let Rogers swing, and he flies out. A walk for Santander, and then Nolan Jones up as he draws a walk. So Pete Alonso on with the bases loaded, and a sac fly will take the run. Now Montero, and he goes into a fielder's choice. Now at the top of the 7th, Rockies up 2-0. And a 1-2-3 inning from Flaherty. He's gotten stronger as the game has gone on. Arizona goes to the bullpen, Ryan Thompson on, and he gets a 1-2-3 inning, 3 groundouts. And here's Jake McCarthy. And I'm wondering if we go to the bullpen here, but I think we'll at least let Flaherty start it off. A 1-out single to Marte, and I think now we'll go to the bullpen. Bring in a lefty. We have Yarbrough with a 60 clutch, or Gilbreth with a 72 clutch. And he allows the singles to now runners on the corners for Peterson. He strikes out. Now Christian Walker, he draws a walk. So now Alec Thomas on with the bases loaded, and we get another strikeout. Gilbreth gets out of the huge jam. Rosario now on looking for his 3rd hit. He grounds out. Rogers draws a walk. And then back-to-back strikeouts. Now the top of the 9th, and we're going to go to Ken Hughes. And we're actually going to enter the game here with Hughes. 2 for 2 with 2 1/3 innings pitched. And I think 3 or 4 strikeouts in that span. And this will be our first live looking at Hughes in this series. Eugenio Suarez to lead it off here. Top 9. Colorado up 2-0. And here's Ken Hughes. Dominant throughout his short minor league stint. His first patch there for Suarez, a ball. And we didn't plan on trading Brenton Doyle this season, but just the way our lineup kind of went, and a good strike there at the bottom corner. With the way our team kind of shaped out, Doyle was kind of an odd man out. Really no use for a gold glove center fielder who can't hit on a team like ours. At that time, we were down in the dumps, but we've since resurged a little bit. A slider away, and Suarez is not offering. I think now we'll go 2-2 changeup. That 2 inside, now a full count from Suarez. And we're just going to challenge him with the heat. And that's in there for strike 3, 99 miles per hour. As Hughes clipped the top part of the zone. And Suarez goes down with the backwards K. And here's Gabriel Moreno, the catcher. A decent season at the plate when you consider what he provides defensively. One out here at the top of the 9th. And that fastball kind of right over the plate, but fouled off by Moreno. Tough to catch up to this velocity. And now the 0-1. That's right down the plate as well. And again, Moreno fouls it off. I think now we'll go off speed, try and get him to chase one in the dirt here. And that one goes inside, a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ken Hughes. And that's exactly how you draw it up. Like I mentioned earlier, I mean, he might just be the guy next year if he continues to impress in the spring and can, take this momentum. He just will open as our closer. I kind of voiced my opinion, I'm paying top dollar for a closing pitcher this past offseason. And I was kind of, with our success towards the end of this season, I was willing to maybe, spend some big dollars on a closer to kind of solidify this bullpen. But if Hughes can prove to be the guy, we might be able to save some much needed budget in that spot. A first pitch slider looked at for a ball. Now the 1-0. And that one called a ball, but certainly looked like it caught the outer part of the plate. And now it's 2-0 to Jordan Lawler. And that fastball misses inside. Hits triple figures. And it's now 3-0. Jake McCarthy on deck. He's been very pesky in this one. A strike right down the middle. And it's now 3-1. We'll go cutter this time. And that cutter right down the middle as well. Lawler looking at two pretty good pitches. Although I can understand on 3-0. Now the payoff pitch. And that's fouled off. That we're going to get him on the heat there. I think we'll go back to the changeup here for our strikeout pitch. The payoff. And that's going to do it here. Ken Hughes strikes out the side as the Rockies take game 1 of a 3-game set. Of course, we'll have 5 more games against the Diamondbacks here down the stretch. And this is a huge one as we climb our way up the wildcard ranks bit by bit. The Rockies win 2-0. A three-pitcher shutout performance, combined team effort. It looked a little ugly there early on. No hits the first time through the lineup, but we kind of got alive there, and we got out of some jams from our bullpen. So Ken Hughes gets the save, and he's now 3 for 3. I'm really glad we got a look in there with Ken Hughes. I tried last episode when he's in AAA to get a save situation in a quick manage game, but it just didn't pan out. So now I think instead of Chase Dollander, we're going to put Ryan Yarbrough in for a start. We claimed him off waivers in the offseason, and he's been very good for us. 95 and a third, 2.83 ERA and a whip, just barely over 1. 58 stamina, so not the most for a starting pitcher, so maybe going to be a bullpen game. But if he could last 4 or 5 innings, I think that will take that with the way Dollander has been pitching. He's been very bad here, but still a potential. He's still developing quite nicely, +4 in hits per 9 and home runs per 9, +5 in walks per 9, but the ERA at 6.28, the whip at 1.67. He's just been very inconsistent and a little worse down the stretch here. So we'll put him in our second long relief spot, and we'll put Ryan Yarbrough in for kind of a must-win game with that. We're actually tied with the Diamondbacks, still a game and a half out though of the Marlins, and we'll just what? I think I was going to say we'll do a player lock game, but we actually just got some pitching reps in, so we'll just simulate this one. We'll quick manage it. How about that? We'll quick manage this one and see how Yarbrough fares. The lefty on against Ryan Nelson, who's 9-7, a 5.09 ERA. And again, they want us to put Pavin Smith in, but we'll roll as is. Yarbrough, a leadoff walk to Perdomo. 2 strikeouts and then a pop-up gets out of it. A leadoff double from Rogers. And then Santander, a single to drive him home. A single there from Alonso with 2 outs. Now Sterling Thompson on. And he gets an RBI single. Now Tovar. And he grounds out. So top of the second. A strikeout, fly out. So a 1-2-3 from Yarbrough. A leadoff single from Fernandez. And Cabrera grounds into a double play. Now Rogers up. And he gets a single. Now 2 for 2. McManus single. Runs on first and second. And Santander flies out. Yarbrough now against Drew Jones, one of the top prospects in all of baseball. Slow start, though, just batting 172 entering, and he grounds out to lead off the inning. Another 1-2-3 from Yarbrough. A 1-2-3 there from Nelson, now top 4. And Yarbrough just mowing him down. Is that 2 or 3 straight 1-2-3 innings? A double there from Fernandez. He's 2 for 2. Rogers draws a 2-out walk. And McMahon grounds out. Now top 5. Back-to-back singles to start here, so maybe Yarbrough starting to decline a little bit. Gets a fly out, and now the base is loaded, and I think we'll go to the bullpen here. We definitely need someone with good clutch. 67 from Bradley, 89 from Sims. We'll put Lucas Sims in here. Allows a hit, now 2-1, and then gets a strikeout, so we do preserve the lead. Santander, Jones a 1-out single, and that's going to do it there in the 5th. Now, top of the 6th, I guess we'll leave Sims in for now. A strikeout, walk, stolen base. A ground out there to Peterson. Now 2 outs, tying run on second. A walk, and then RBI single, runner thrown out. So that's now 2-2 as we squander that early lead. A 1-out single from Fernandez, a walk from Cabrera. Now Brendan Rodgers, a double play. And that kills the little rally we had. So we'll go back to the bullpen here. Top of 7. Let's go to Carlos Estevez. He's been very strong down the stretch. And he gets out of that one. McMahon to lead it off. He gets a single. And then nothing doing after that. Marte up, a leadoff walk. And he gets driven home by Corbin Carroll. And it's now Jock Peterson. We'll leave Estevez in for one more. And he walks him. So now Suarez on. And who are we going to go to? I guess we'll go to John Curtis here. And he gets a double play. And then strands the runner on third there. So bottom of the 8th, 3-2. Sterling Thompson on. A leadoff double. You love to see that. A walk there from Cabrera. Now 2 outs for Brendan Rodgers. And they go to the closer, I think, Kevin Ginkel. And he gets the pop-up. A 1-2-3 inning from Curtis. And we're going to jump into this one and see if we can rally. Arizona up 3-2 here in the bottom of the 9th. And these games, especially these games against the Diamondbacks, super pivotal in this playoff push. We really have to, win each series. At least, take 4 out of 6 here. And Tanner Scott's actually the closer. So, correction on that. Not Ginkel. I remember they did sign Scott in the offseason. 40 out of 47. 30% strikeout rate. Although he does have those 7 blown saves. McMahon to lead it off. I hate the lefty versus lefty matchup, but McMahon has been solid. We got to leave him in here. 2 for 4 in this one. First pitch swinging. We popped that into foul territory. Got way underneath it. And that is going to stay in the field of play as Corbin Carroll collects that for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out here for Tanner Scott. Now Santander on. And we held up, but a good strike there towards the top of the zone. And it's now 0-1 from Tanner Scott, a big free agent investment. That one just off, a good eye from Santander. Now 1-1. Good eye. Slider low, not offering. Now the 2-1 from Scott. And looking again, approaching, attacking him pretty low, minus that first pitch fastball. And it's now 3-1. And just, I think, behind that slider, kind of late to recognize it, drop into the zone. Now full count. I don't know why we're swinging at that. Super late on the fastball as Santander goes down on strikes. And now it's all up to Nolan Jones here in this lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch, we ripped that one foul. Too early on the slider again. And now the 0-1. And way out in front on the slider. Not a good showing in this game, but Scott, a very good pitcher, of course. Now not offering at that one. It looked fairly promising there in that Santander at bat, but Scott battled back. That one we drive foul, staying alive. And now another 1-2 to Nolan Jones, career high in home runs this season. That one inside, a good eye, as it's now 2-2. You can tie it with 1 swing of the bat, or you can go home with 1 swing of the bat. And we're going home. We deserve to after that. Oh my goodness, that was ugly. But the Diamondbacks take this one 3-2. They take game 2. of this pivotal late series. Corbin Carroll, the player of the game. Carlos Estevez, 3 walks. He took the L, and it looked promising there. 2-0 in the first inning, but we allow 1 in the 5th, 6th, and 8th, and fall there. So I think one more game, and actually it's the end of our minor league season. Our Albuquerque Isotopes are set to make the playoffs, I believe, although our Hartford Yard Goats will not at 65-73, and I don't think we won the division in the first half of the year, so looks like we're going to miss out there. So now we have a big pitchers duel here, Max Fried against Zach Gallen, and this one I think we will just simulate, see how it goes. Ryan Thompson on. It's 4-3 Colorado, and Rosario needs a triple for the cycle, and we hang on to win. So like I said, wow, the Isotopes missed the playoffs. That's crazy. At 81-69, we missed the playoffs, as did the Hartford Yard Goats. So hopefully the Rockies, our MLB club, can be the team to make the postseason. A game and a half back, we're still square with the Diamondbacks, but we need the Marlins and the Cubs to lose a little bit, and it doesn't get better for us here. A series against the Dodgers, and that's not what I wanted. But before we keep advancing here, we'll look at our minor league stats. It'll be our last opportunity to take a look at all these numbers. So Benny Montgomery led in at-bats over 500. He kind of went on a hot streak to end the year, which you like to see. Raised the average by, I think, over 10 points. Ended with an OBP over 300, but just a 684 OPS. And he's developing quite nicely here as a center field prospect. Good speed, decent fielding, a good arm there in center, and the hitting. Contact versus lefties up +7, vision up +4. Probably not quite going to make the 40-man next year, but not too far away. Adael Amador ended with 10 home runs. He went on a hot streak as well to end the season, which you like to see. 1 point under 250 batting average. And like I said, 10 home runs, which, more than doubled only 4 last year in AAA. Willie Calhoun, 15 home runs, a spring training invite, but just didn't quite make the cut. Michael Toglia, decent year hitting the ball at 271 batting average. We'll just sort here by average. Joshua Baez, who we acquired from St. Louis, ended up leading in average. 21 years old at 67 overall. Not too far away from cracking the 40-man roster. Daniel Cope, just a catcher. Probably not going to stick around too much. And Toglia, he's still on the 40-man. 393 at-bats spread across 3 seasons, only batting 198. So definitely needs to develop a little bit more, but already 26 years old. But you do like the switch hitting and the beat potential. Zach Veen started off the year very well. I think we talked about him earlier in the episode, but a torn MCL kept him out pretty much the entire season. Heriberto Hernandez led in home runs. We acquired him from Tampa Bay last year, slugging at 438 and OBP at 341, but contact and powers versus lefties regressing by a couple points. Jordan Beck, another outfielder, very similar to Zach Veen, skill set wise, just he's righty. Zach Veen bats lefty, and he too also suffered a torn MCL very early in the season. Adael Amador we talked about. Drew Romo, he would be up as our backup catcher right now, but he suffered a fractured hand, missed most of the season, only 120 at-bats, although he was batting under 200. But last year, spent some time as the backup catcher, batted just over 200, but, he's more out there for his glove and the backstop. Warning Bernabel was a late call-up, only batted 186 in limited at-bats. Calhoun led in OBP. Greg Jones right behind him, 27 years old. Slugging was Zach Veen. Toglia, Hernandez, OPS. Zach Veen, the only player over 800. I guess we'll go over to pitching now. Don't really want to spend too much time here. Rolison led in strikeouts. Jeff Criswell, Ryan Feltner, Santander, Mitch Bratt led all relievers in strikeouts with 66. Very good year there in AAA, 5-2. 76 innings and a third. ERA under 3. The whip just barely over 1. 66 strikeouts in 76 innings. We acquired him from the Rangers last year. 72 stamina there, a lefty out of the pen. Matt Cook was there. Michael Yamashita ended up pretty bad there after being called up dominant in Double-A, but 5.47 ERA, 1-6, a 1.36 whip. 9 games started, only 4 quality starts. We'll let it in WAR. We'll go to WAR now. Santander at 4.3, and he's kind of been the forgotten man here. At 30 years old, a deep potential, and he has $10.1 million over the next 2 seasons after this year. So I don't really know what the case is going to be with Senzatella. Definitely don't like that salary on the books, but no team is going to take that on. I don't know if he's ever going to be at the MLB in this series, but I guess we'll see. Chriswell Feltner, he didn't have the best year. Started off pretty good. Started off as a long relief man, then we made him a starter when when Lambert was called up, or Dollander was called up. 3.49 ERA, 1.52 WHIP, only 10 quality starts. Not really sure what his future holds. A career 6.28 ERA in 326 innings. A couple more years of arbitration, but I don't really know if he has a spot long term. Ks per 9, Quinones. So we called him up earlier, Double A. He was 9 out of 10 in saves. Now in Triple A, only 5 2/3, but 7 strikeouts, no runs allowed, and a .71 WHIP. So he looks to be a promising lefty prospect there out of the bullpen. Home runs per 9. Didn't allow any home runs. Bratt under a half home run allowed per 9. Roby, a good one there. Feltner, pretty good. Yamashita, though, allowed 1.28 home runs per 9. It's at 58, so not his worst rating, but luckily it didn't take any hits after the poor showing. So that's just Triple A, now Double A. Really no players of note on offense, just, a bunch of C potential guys here. Orlando Santander, we acquired him from the Yankees in that Chris Bryant trade, a very long-term project at catcher, but at a necessity, we needed to call him up. Batted .280, OPS over 750. Not bad numbers there from just a 50 overall 18-year-old catcher out of Cuba. Griffin Conine had 10 home runs. Who led in home runs? Nico Decolati, 27 years old, just deep potential, 61 overall. So like I said, really, no major prospects down here quite yet, but after our most recent draft, we'll have an influx of talent and youth to our Double-A squad next year. Cameron Cawley also acquired him from Texas, a very good fielder. Batted .233. Probably our most notable guy here, honestly, on our Double-A roster as far as hitters go. Pitchers, though, we do have a few more. Juan Ayala was like the 35th pick in the draft. We picked him after Yamashita. He's stuck it out in Double-A, though. 7-10 and 169 in the third inning. 140 strikeouts, 4.52 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. 2 complete games, 1 for a shutout. A WAR at 3.6. Herb Lopez, we pitched with him in an episode or two ago. I did 5-12, but good progression along the board. 158 in the third, 134 strikeouts, 3.81 ERA, 1.43 WHIP, 1 complete game shutout, a WAR at 3.3. Rudy Smith, a potential, another pick in that draft class. I think 5th round, 21 years old, so raw, but that a potential, and he's progressing nicely here. +6 for Ks per 9, +5 walks per 9, +3 really across the board. Dominant in his first few starts, but kind of came back down to earth, but still very good numbers overall. ERA just barely over 4, 1.19 WHIP. Jose Vera, also another pitcher in that draft class. B potential at 61 overall. 19 years old, made 7 starts. Decent numbers across the board. I guess we'll go over to ERA. Dugan Darnell, a D potential, 27 years old, 1.13 ERA. As far as our starters go, Connor Stain led the way, only a D potential. He's regressing, but of our top prospects, Herb Lopez looked to be the most dominant. Holds, Garrett Haney, 27 holds. I think he's also, D potential, although he is 19, but he is regressing in most categories. Our WAR leader was Juan Ayala, our top pitcher, probably going to be the ace of our Double-A team next year, unless we call him up. Herb Lopez and Connor Stain behind him. Ks per 9, Wilcox, another D potential at just 58 overall, 30 years old, led with 14 Ks per 9. That's awesome at this level. Ricky Raymond, a lefty we acquired from the Angels. He has a 70 Ks per 9 rating, and that translated on the field. Jose Vera, pretty good ratio there. So just a quick look at our, I know kind of boring maybe there, but just to get a feel for, how our players fare throughout the season. And just a quick look at their prospects going forward. So now, what was it, a game and a half out of a playoff spot right now? But of course, we're set to face the top team in baseball. The Dodgers at 107-49, 6 games higher or 6 games better than the next best team here in the Orioles and Rays, who are currently tied there in the AL East. I wonder if they play each other down the stretch here, and they do. Actually, they're in a series right now. Tampa Bay took game 1, so that'll be interesting, and it certainly has big implications there in the AL East. But for now, we'll simulate these last 3 games, and then we'll pick it up next episode with a full game in this Arizona series. And hopefully we're still alive at that point. Probably have to win 4 or 5 of these last 6 games at least. So here's Peter Lambert, 6-0 on against Tyler Glasnow, 19-4. And he's probably up in the Cy Young conversation, although it looks like Strider will come away with it. We're actually up 4-2 here. Bases loaded for Will Smith. 1 out. John Curtis on the mound. And we survive and win 4-2. Lambert is now 7-0. Curtis worked out of a jam. Brendan Rodgers 2 for 5 with a home run. Cabrera had a double. He's batting .300. Fernandez 2 for 4. And you love to see that. A big win for the Rockies. Lambert 5 innings, just 1 earned. 5 strikeouts. Taj Bradley 2 innings of scoreless pitching with 3 Ks. Curtis did allow a run in that inning, but still gets a hold. And Ken Hughes again on for the save. 3 strikeouts. He did allow a hit. It looks like the Diamondbacks did win as well. But we did gain a game on the Cubs and Marlins here. Now just a half game out. We have Kyle Freeland 12-12 up against Bobby Miller. And we dropped that one 3-2. We were up 2-0 in the top of the 7th and gave up 3 runs. Santander, a home run, 2 hits. Sterling Thompson, 2 for 4. And Freeland was pretty good, just 2 earned in 6. And Ryan Yarbrough, 3 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. So now the rubber match here, our last game of this episode. We're now a game out even, and the Diamondbacks have crawled their way back in. So if we could win this one, this last series against Arizona is going to be absolutely huge. So we will go ahead and quick manage this one. We have Jack Flaherty, 8-13. He really needs to, get back on the right track here against Dustin May, who's 11-4, one of the better pitchers in the National League. We are going to be at Coors Field, luckily. And Tovar really hasn't produced down the stretch. Fernandez has been good. Thompson's been amazing. Kind of wondering if we should put him up into the 2 spot, but I think we'll just stick with it as is. Ronald Cabrera, the deep potential catcher at just 21 years old, batting over .300 to start his career. But I think we will just stick with it as it is. Rosario, maybe want to get him back in, but I think we just got to keep Tovar at short. And we'll just stick with this lineup. So Jack Flaherty on the mound. We need a very good start from you. 2 singles to start, as Riley Green was caught stealing. A walk there to Betts, a strikeout, and a flyout. He gets out of an early jam. And I feel like he always has some drama early on, but then kind of gets stronger as the game goes on. A leadoff double from Rodgers, but we leave him stranded. Now top of the 2nd. A leadoff single, and then another single runs on the corners. And a double play from Flaherty. Now Pete Alonso, a solo home run. That might be his first home run of September. He had 32 or 33 entering the month, just 1 short of last year's total. But it took a while to get there. And now top of the 3rd, another leadoff single. And then another double play. So in all 3 innings, the Dodgers have gotten a leadoff single. But back-to-back innings with double plays from Flaherty. 1-2-3 inning there from May. And finally, we retire the leadoff man, but Outman, a 2-out triple, but he's stranded with a strikeout. 2 strikeouts to start, then Alonso draws a walk. Sterling a single, runs on the corners for Tovar, and he strikes out. Now Gavin Lux up in the top of the 5th. A 2-out walk to Freeman, a single to Riley Green. Betts hit by a pitch, and now it's Max Muncy, and he gets an RBI single. And I think we have to go to the bullpen here. It's a little early. I think we're going to go Taj Bradley. And he allows a 2 RBI single, walks a man, and then a 2 RBI double. A runner thrown out, so the Dodgers get 5 quick ones in the 5th. And then we go down 1-2-3. A 1-2-3 inning there from Bradley. A good bounce back. We go down 1-2-3 again. Bradley's still out there. Another 1-2-3. Oh, 1-out walk there from Thompson. Now Matt Moore on. And we got into a double play. We'll just leave Bradley out there. He's been strong. And he gets another 1-2-3. Now bottom of the 8th. We need a little rally. And Fernandez starts us with a leadoff double. Should we go pinch hitter here? Who has a good clutch? Montero has a good clutch rating. We haven't seen him in a while. Rosario also has a good clutch rating, but I think we'll go with Montero in this spot, and he grounds out. Rodgers an RBI single. Now Brusdar Gratterall on. A 2-run home run from McMahon. And it's now a 1-run ball game. Santander on. He strikes out a 2-out single from Nolan Jones. Now Alonso on. And runner was thrown out. So some drama there as we get 3 back now. A 1-run game here in the top of the 9th. We set to face 4 lefties in a row. And I kind of trust Yarbrough a little more than Gilbreth. But I think we want to make Gilbreth a starter in one of the... we'll just go to Yarbrough. We'll go with the trusted man there. A 1-out single. We get another out. A stolen base from Frazier. And then we get the ground out. So, bottom of the 9th here. Down 1 run. We're a game out of a playoff spot. And we're going to enter this game high stakes. And this will be how we close the episode. We have not been good hitting the ball in this episode. And we got to get back on the right track. Evan Phillips, 45-51. A 1.79 ERA. And he's been absolutely dominant. Maybe up for closer of the year here. Sterling Thompson been a dynamic rookie for us. And we'll see what his average is right now. Currently batting .352. And he's got to be nearing, I would say, maybe 100 at-bats by now. Swinging and miss an inside cutter. I think we got to be a little more patient than that. Phillips currently tied for 2nd in the National League, or I guess tied for 3rd. Diaz and Helsley ahead with 50 each. Alex Lang, also 45. They're tied with Phillips. And now the 0-1. And we just popped that up into foul territory. And we really got to get it together at the plate. And now here's Ezequiel Tovar, who's really been struggling. The numbers were at one point pretty good, but now just, you would say, adequate, I guess. And he's not too good against righties. Looking at that first pitch, we got to look at a few here after our results in this episode. Got to choke up a little bit, take that approach. Tovar grounds that into foul territory a little early on the sinker, and a quick 0-2 hole for the Colorado shortstop. That one outside, misses the plate on the curve, and it's now 1-2. And Tovar is going to send that to deep left, and that is out of here. Oh my goodness, we've documented Tovar's struggles, but he delivers in an absolutely huge spot. A 1-out home run to tie it in the bottom of the 9th, and the Rockies' playoff hopes are still alive with that moonshot. It's not over yet though, a tie ball game now, but the Rockies have all the momentum, and the stadium's absolutely bumping. I did not expect that from Tovar of all players, but of anyone on this team, he probably needed it the most. And that's all it takes sometimes to break out of a slump. Tovar sends that deep, over 400 feet. And Evan Phillips, the blown save, I think just now his 7th of the year. One of the top closers in the National League. And Tovar's going to watch that one into the seats as we have a new ball game now in Colorado. And now here's Yanquiel Fernandez, another young player on this Rockies team. First pitch curveball, misses low and inside. Fernandez has had a strong season here after being called up. I don't think he started on the opening day roster, but it didn't take long for him to earn a spot. And when he did get the call, he was ready. And it's now 1-1. And Fernandez, a perfect. A good hit there into right as the winning run is now on first base. Now they'll bring up Adael Montero, and I forgot we had him as a pinch runner earlier, or a pinch hitter earlier, so he was actually the catcher for that last half inning. Did not even realize that. The 0-1. Oh man, if we could have got a hold of that curve, it might have been over. 0-2 now. That one off the plate, and that's going to advance Fernandez to second on the wild pitch. And the winning run now in scoring position for the Rockies. And now the 1-2, just got to put the ball in play if you're Montero. Fastball way high. Phillips now low stamina, and the confidence almost non-existent on that meter. And a strike 3 there from the curve. That's what happens when I commentate mid-pitch. I got to keep focus in those situations. Here's Brendan Rodgers on. And we'll see if he can deliver in a big-time spot here. I guess we probably should get someone up in the pen. It's going to be Betts, Muncy, Smith. And they're worse against lefties collectively, even though Smith is a righty. I mean, I wouldn't even really say Smith is worse. Has better power against lefties, but worse contact. So I'm not really sure who we would throw in that inning. They're going to have a runner on second, so we probably want someone with a good clutch rating. And Lucas Sims, I mean, he hasn't been good, but he does have that good clutch. Lefties cannot really hit him well. But we might want the lefty instead. I don't know. We still have Yarbrough, I believe, so we'll see how it goes. But here's Brendan Rodgers on. And he's going to ground out to third. And we had the runner, the winning run in scoring position. But we just could not deliver after that. But we do tie it up on that dramatic Ezequiel Tovar home run as we're heading for extras here in Colorado. I really would like to finish this game, in real time, but just due to time constraints, I think we'll quick manage the rest here. We had a great, home run there with Tovar and kept it going, but let's see if we could finish here. So Yarbrough is still on the mound. I think we'll just keep him there for these next two batters. He walks Betts and then gets a fly out. So now I think we'll go to the pen. Should we go to Ken Hughes? He doesn't have the best clutch rating, though. He's better just coming on to start an inning. Curtis there at 66. I think we'll go to John Curtis. He's probably our most reliable arm out of the bullpen. But if he's going to allow a single there to Will Smith that runners on the corners, and a 3-run home run to James Outman. And Curtis just absolutely proved me wrong. 4 runs for the Dodgers, and now we need a huge comeback. Santander drives in a run, now 9-6 for Nolan Jones. AJ Minter now out there, the lefty. And Pete Alonso a walk, so the tying run at the plate. Sterling Thompson, a lefty. I think we'll go Rosario in this spot. And maybe because we had Montero, I forgot to switch out the catchers again. Maybe that's why we allowed so many runs there. And Rosario grounds out. So that is going to do it here. We had that dramatic home run with Tovar, but after that just unraveled a James Outman 3-run home run, proving to be the difference as our bullpen implodes yet again. Maybe should have went with Curtis, with Hughes, but hindsight is 2020. So this is where I'm going to leave you, folks. Thank you so much for watching. We're still hanging in there. 3 games left to go of the season, and it's going to be an interesting next time. It's going to be interesting next time out. We're going to play a full game in that Diamondbacks series. I'm not quite sure what game we're going to be playing, but we're going to have a heavy emphasis on that series. We'll send ahead real quick and see where we stand. So we're only 1 game behind the Diamondbacks now, heading into the final 3, and 1 game out of a wild card spot. So very much alive in this playoff hunt still, somehow, some way. But as always, everybody, it's been real, and be well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.